Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Stuart.
And we're Hi-Fi Pig.
Yes, we are. Now, this is the start of the video. We're going to go straight into the news because this is about the millionth take of this that we've done. And we've had a bit of trouble with the microphones on the first section of this. So we've done it again, but we're going to go straight into the news. And
We'll have a chat after.
We'll have a chat after. Well, we do have a chat after. We've already done the chat as it happens.
It's like Doctor Who, this.
It is just exactly like Doctor Who. Anyway, do stick around until the end of the thing, until the end of the video. Thanks ever so much. Here's the news.
Altiac claims to be the first Indian headphone brand available in the UK. The Altiac Cal 1H Mystique Edition headphones come in a pearlescent purple automotive finish with a 50mm electrodynamic driver and either 3.5mm jack or balance connection. Price is £549. South Korean hi-fi brand Astel & Kern has revealed the new Astel & Kern AK-HC4 Mini DAC. Equipped with digital audio remaster technology, the tiny device is designed for smartphones, tablets, games consoles and PCs to enhance music, video and gaming and costs £219. The luxury hi-fi show, Audio Show Deluxe, will take place at Whittlebury Park near Silverstone Racetrack on the weekend of the 23rd and 24th of March 2024. In the weeks and months in the run-up to the Audio Show Deluxe 2024, we'll bring you more news, exhibitors, brands, artists and attractions that will thrill and delight you during your visit. Featuring dual AKM DACs, 32-bit, 768Hz and DSD 512 decoding, full colour display, USB-C, coax input, and aptX HD and LDAC Bluetooth, the FIO Q15 portable headphone DAC and amplifier is the brand's new flagship. The FIO Q15 will be available from December 2023, priced at £379 or $399. JDS Labs has announced the Atom Amp 2 and Atom DAC 2. Two updated products are built in all-metal chassis, and the amp has 2.5 times the power of the Atom Amp Plus. The Atom 2 DAC now has a USB Type-C input. Atom Amp 2 and Atom DAC 2 are now available, priced at $129 each. The Mutech Ref 10 Nano 10 MHz reference master clock is based on the flagship Ref 10, but transfers its technology into a new lower price range. The Ref 10 Nano can be directly connected to up to 4 10 MHz compatible devices, including DACs, network switches, reclockers, clock generators, CD players, servers and streamers. Made in Germany, it costs €1,999. Wim has launched their first streaming amplifier, the Wim Amp. Wim Amp merges a high-quality streamer with a Class D amplifier and an ESS 32-bit Hyperstream DAC, with plenty of connection options, including HDMI ARC and room certification pending. It costs £299 or dollars, and in the UK is available through Henley Audio's dealer network.
All right, that was the news that was.
It was.
Yes, it was.
So there's some interesting stuff coming up, and particularly interesting is the Audio Show Deluxe, which is happening next spring.
Yes. At Whittlebury Hall.
Yes.
Which is near Silverstone. And it happens on the 23rd and 24th of March 2024.
Yeah.
Very, very excited about it. Chris and me have
very
been
excited.
doing loads and loads of work behind the scenes, and the show's pretty much full. It's a really good show. Last year was the first one, and the feedback that we had was just brilliant. People saying it was the best show they've been to in the UK.
So from exhibitors and from visitors,
absolutely.
everybody really, really enjoyed it, enjoyed the atmosphere, enjoyed what was put on. And
we're pretty much full for this year, to the point where we're full this year. And I think we could have filled it many times over with exhibitors.
But that would have defeated the object of the show, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and the object is to allow people the opportunity to sit down in front of a system and really enjoy and get a feel for that system without any need to feel rushed. Because quite often at shows you do feel rushed.
You do, yeah.
You sort of get that feeling where you've got to really rush round and you don't get a feel for a system. You're in a room, you're out of a room, And that's how it just feels a bit rushed at some shows.
It's that sort of luxury of having the time,
yes,
isn't it?
it's very much a luxurious experience.
Yeah.
And we've got bands on and we've got artists on and there's loads going off.
It's going to be great.
Lots. We're not telling you everything that we're going to do at the show. And the idea behind that is to thrill and delight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few surprises.
A few surprises, which is a good thing.
It is.
Talking of surprises, it was your birthday yesterday.
It was my
wasn't it?
birthday yesterday.
That wasn't a surprise, really, was it?
Not really. It sort of happens every year.
How many years? I'm not going to ask that.
No.
You should never ask a lady her age. But the news has been sort of quiet, but some really interesting stuff. And not just really high-end stuff, which is really good to see. And
It's been more affordable stuff this week,
it
actually.
has, yeah. And
So that's been interesting. So especially, so the big news, I think, was the Wimamp.
that is a really cool thing. 300 quid.
Yeah, or dollars.
EWS DAC chips on it.
Yeah.
A Class D amplifier, a streamer. So basically, add a pair of speakers and away you go
Yeah.
for 300 quid. Now, that's not going to be to everybody's taste, but for a lot of people, like it or not, Mr. and Mrs. Audiophile, there are a lot of people that just want that simple setup so they can just enjoy the music. And for 300 quid, I'm actually thinking of buying one from Henley myself.
Yeah, and just giving it a go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Wim are proving very, very popular, sort of from everyone that's people that want to just add that sort of streaming ability to the system. To the diehard audiophiles have really picked up on Wim, haven't they? There's a lot of audiophiles have been buying the streamers before.
Yeah,
so
but this is a streamer
it's
and
everything.
an amp in one.
Yeah.
And the other one was JDS Labs from America.
From America. Little DAC and little amp and headphone amp.
$130 a piece.
$130 a piece, but they look really nice.
So
They
does the
don't
Wim
look
stuff.
cheap.
The Wim stuff doesn't look
Yeah.
cheap either. And I think that's a really interesting thing. As I said, they're not going to suit everybody. But for those that want a basic setup that they can just enjoy music, or a teenager that wants a system.
It's a good sort of affordable start to a bedroom system
Yeah.
for your sort of teenage kids for Christmas and that kind of thing,
500
isn't it?
quid, you're sorted, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So what else has been in the news? We've got these were quite interesting. A pair of Indian headphones that were about 550 quid.
Yeah. Now, the Altiat is the brand, and I'd never heard of them
No, I
before,
haven't.
but they are apparently the first Indian headphone brand to be in the UK. And they've got really nice sort of automotive paint finishes on them, sort of
They look
that
very cool.
sports car sort of pearlescent-y.
They look really
colour.
cool. Is that the only colour you can get?
No, you can get them. That purple colour is a special edition for the UK.
Right, okay.
I think the other colour of that flagship headphone is like a green. So
right,
yeah,
okay.
quite cool.
So talking about headphones, we've also got, what else have we got? We've got,
Fio have got a new portable, it's their flagship portable headphone amp and DAC, which is, I think, just under 400 quid.
okay.
So that's
And Astle and Kern have got a
one of those little
mini DAC
inline
things.
dongle mini DAC type things.
So that's made for phones and
Yeah, so if you're gaming and listening to music and on your laptop, your phone, that kind of thing, or PCs.
and that's about 200 quid, 220 quid,
Yeah, just under 220 quid.
which
so
seems all right.
again, not massively expensive.
And then you've got the mute on a more high end sort of, I suppose, tweaky kind of thing. You've got the Mutec. I'm not even going to try and remember the numbers, but it's basically a clock, isn't it?
Yes,
A reference master clock.
yes,
About $2,000.
it is. And this is I can't remember how much their flagship one is, but this is it's called a nano version of the flagship one. So it's taken a lot of the tech from that, packed it into sort of a smaller package.
And they're
And
made in Berlin.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
What else we got?
um,
I think that's about it
It
for
is, yeah.
For the news. Well, there's been
but
some
you've been in quite a few reviews,
there's
haven't we?
been some really good reviews
And the new thing for reviews, our new award.
oh yeah, we've not everybody knows this, but we're a bit different. I was going to say weird. Yeah, we're a bit weird. We're a bit different with reviews in that if previously, if something wanted our highest award, which was the Editor's Award, it had to go to a reviewer. They would look at it, decide that a 5-star, a 5-heart review was not a high enough sort of accolade for it. And then it would have to come to us to review and do a second review. Now that this year, we've been hectic. So we've not been able to sort of do those reviews.
No, we've been doing a lot of travelling,
and
haven't we?
We haven't had any sent. The ones that we've been sent, we've done. But basically what we've done is we've introduced a new award that is the Reviewer's Preference Award, which is higher than the 5 Hearts, but not quite as high as the Editor's Award, the Editor's Choice. So there you go.
And it's the first one, the first award has been awarded by Oscar, hasn't it, this week?
Who did he send that to?
That was for the Theo? No, the iFi.
The iFi
iCan
Phantom.
Phantom. Yes.
Yeah, that's their flagship headphone amp. It looks incredible. A lot of time for iFi. I really do like a lot of their stuff. And a lot of it is fairly budget, but this is proper high end.
Yeah.
About $4,000, $3,750 or something like that.
And it's been at shows and people have just been queuing up to listen to it. I noticed at Warsaw in the iFi room at the stadium, there was literally a queue of people waiting to listen to it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But then I think the whole HeadFi thing, and it's back to that what we were just saying about people's bedrooms and all the rest of it. HeadFi outsells what I would say is proper hi-fi by manyfold. And it's obviously where the market is. I don't think it's where the market's going, but a lot of it is going that way. People, if you buy a pair of expensive headphones, you can use them at home with an amplifier. You can take them out with you and listen on your portable whatever player. So I think it's, for some people, that's where the market's going.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite interesting. But interesting that there are companies that are doing products that cost $4,000 that are just dedicated to headphones. But I think you can also use that as a preamp as well.
Okay.
Very interesting design. You've just seen pictures of it in the news that was. But yeah, very interesting. But also, Oscar's reviewed the SMSL D something S balanced DAC, about £200 DAC, very linear, he said. Really enthused about the DAC in his review, which I'll put a link down below to. And then another review that Janine did for us was the OSV HT50 integrated amp. Interesting company from Poland, OSV. Started out making bass amps for bass guitars. That's the international sign language for bass guitar. And
it's got a bit of a audio researchy look to it, hasn't it?
I thought it was very cool. Nice looking. It's a hybrid amp, so it's valves and solid state. Costs about $6,000.
I'm not sure.
I think it's about $6,000.
You'll put the info down on the link, won't you?
The info's down in the link and what have you. But that's a really interesting amplifier. Janine really enjoyed that. But I think what's quite interesting at the moment is we are getting quite a lot of budget audio equipment, both news and reviews. But we're also getting a lot of very high-end stuff as well. And I think that's important. I think that balance of being able to review and talk about a DAC streamer, an amplifier that costs £300 like the WIM, but also in the same breath talk about a hybrid, quite specialised amp that costs $6,000, and then other stuff, a headphone amp that costs $2,500, $3,000, whatever it is. And
there seems to be a good mix at the moment of, there's the high end that people aspire to, and we've sort of drawn that analogy before, like going to car shows and going to look at the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis and what have you. So you've got the high end stuff, but then the more budget or accessibly priced stuff that's coming in is really nice as well. Stuff that's well made and affordable, not just cheap.
To use a car analogy again, when Datsun, now Nissan, first came into the UK and Japanese cars started coming into the UK, and we knew, not we, but my mum and dad knew Derek Cook that first brought Datsun into the UK, and my dad ended up with his 260Z as it happens, which was a scary car. But people used to say when Datsun first came into the country that it was plastic, all the dashboards were plasticky and all the rest of it. And the situation is now that it's the stuff that's coming in from China and wherever on the budget audio side of things is no longer cheap plasticky stuff. The Wim looks really
it looks
nice.
Proper, doesn't it?
It looks like a Class A amp.
The curves to it. It's like a mini, like that same kind of shape.
Yeah.
But mini version of
which
it.
I thought was quite interesting.
So there's thought going into how products look and the design, as well as how they work.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to get the performance from that kind of level of kit. But by the same token, not everybody wants that level of performance. And it's good to have everything, to have something at each of those levels. I think it's really important. Anyway, that's my bit of a, not a rant, was it?
No, you weren't ranting.
That's nice to hear.
My non-ranty husband.
I'm not a ranty husband. I'm a very calm and collected husband these
More than
days.
adequate.
More than adequate. Absolutely adequate. Absolutely average is what you used to call me.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Anyway, that's your lot from us. We are here next week. Are we here next week?
We are here next week.
Okay, because we got to Toulouse to see
Metronome
Callista in a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks' time. Yeah.
So we'll be bringing you this in a couple of weeks from there, but there's another show to do from here before then. So thank you ever so much for watching. Again, if you enjoy the show, I'll call it a show. I don't think it is a show. It's just us nattering to a camera.
The Linen Stew Show.
The Linen Stew nattering to a camera show. But if you enjoy it, comment, leave whatever you have to. Well, I don't know how YouTube works, to be perfectly honest, but you subscribe and you
like and share.
And share. That's the badge. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. See
Bye.
you soon. Bye.